What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video, creating a sketch illustration of the Batman who laughs. For today's lesson, I'll be using my sketch pad and a 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. Let's begin today's lesson by laying out our guidelines to help block out the basic shape of the head. We'll start by sketching a line coming down the center, starting from the very top in the middle. Just pull this pencil down towards us. These short lines. Let's go back to the center and draw another line going across from left to right. Now we're going to be using these two lines to help us create a circle in the center of our page to define the size of the skull. So from that center point, let's move up, mark off the top of our circle right about there. Now we're going to measure that distance from the center down towards the bottom and do the same thing. Let's repeat that across this horizontal line. So measuring the distance from the center over towards the left and then the right side. Let's connect the center point of each mark with a curve to create our circle. So we're going to start with the top left, just working our way around. And the circle doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to get the right size and placement in the center of our page. Just go back and just smooth this out. Now we're going to add another set of guidelines along the side of our circle. So let's start on the left. Just going to pull this down towards the bottom. And then we'll also extend it up towards the top. Just going to align the ears. Let's do the same thing on the right. Now from here, start blocking out the basic facial features. Let's start with the top edge of the mask. From the side of our circle, we're going to draw a curve that comes down in the middle, go across the center of that bottom half of our circle, go back up on the right. Now we're going to go all the way up towards the top of the ears. Just going to mark this off with a straight line going up and in. Just line this up over on the right, going up and in towards the same height. Then from the top, draw a straight line coming down towards the edge of the mask. Let's draw the top edge of the mouth. In the center, we're going to bend this out and then up toward the left and right side. And then from the corners of the mouth, we're just going to angle this down and then in. Now along the bottom, we're going to sketch an oval for the chin, all the way around on the bottom of the mouth. Now moving out to the side of our oval, angle the jaw, going up and then out towards the lines on the side. Let's draw the back edge of the cape. We're going to start from the side of the head, then this around and down. Now let's curl that back in towards the inside. Let's line this up on the right, going out and then bending that in. Now from the outside of the collar, angle this down and then in towards the bottom. Now I want to go back and lightly clean up our drawing by erasing some of these guidelines. Now we're going to be using this rough sketch as a guide to help us layer on some more detail and refine the shapes. Let's start with the mask. We'll start from the outside. We're just going to bump this out, just extending that out past the side of the head. Go straight down the side. And we'll curve the bottom, coming down towards the bottom of the mask and then back up. Let's add a thick edge, just pulling that in. And just tracing that curve along the top. Now we're just going to work our way up towards the top of the ear, bend that up. Now along the bottom on the inside, I just want to bend this in on top of the mask. Now in the center of the forehead, we're just going to add the brow, bending this out towards the side. Let's add a trim from the top coming down. Now we're going to add those spikes across the mask. So on either side, let's start with a circle, one on the left, and line up one on the right. Let's move up to the side, add an oval, and then we're going to add those spikes. Starting from the outside of that center spike, come straight down, and we'll angle that up towards the inside of those circles. Let's go to the outside, coming down and out, and then back in. Now I want to wrap these spikes around the head. So we're going to move up and add another one, just the tip of one coming out. Now I want to go back and add some shape to the mouth. Starting in the center, and go up and out, curl that up towards the corner of the mouth. Let's fold the cheeks on top, and then fold along the outside of the mouth. I'm just going to work our way down towards the lower lip. Just round this out. And then we want to angle the jaw coming down and in along the side, round of the jaw, and pull that down towards the chin. Now inside the mouth, we're going to add a guide for the teeth, starting along the top, leave a gap, add another curve for the bottom row of teeth. And placing in the side of the neck, going in behind the collar. So now that we complete our rough sketch, we're going to go back and clean this up before we get into the details. Now we're going to go back and just use this rough sketch as a guide to add some more detail. We start with some thick and thin lines. So adding those thick lines across the bottom edge of each line, and this will help give some weight to our drawing. And just working our way up along the ears. Let's enhance those folds inside the brow. Now along the inside edge of the ears, we're going to add a small bevel. Just a thin edge starting along the bottom, just fading that up, and then for the top coming down. Now we're going to add a small detail along the side of the head with a spike coming down the jawline. I'll just pull that back up underneath. Also adding that small bevel along the inside edge. Now with the teeth, we want to separate them starting along the bottom edge. So start right in the middle and just round out each tooth and just fade this up along the outside edge of each tooth. We're just going to work our way out towards the side and go back and work our way across the left side. And then along the top, we're just going to add that gum line. Just adding these little points coming down to each line. And then we'll go back and just lightly shading the inside of the gums. And I want to do the same thing across the bottom row of teeth. It's going to go up towards the right. And again, just adding that gum line across the bottom, just curving these up. I'm just going to layer a few more molars along the back side underneath. Just fading them down towards the tongue. Add a curve for the tongue along the back. Just darken up the inside of the mouth along the top. And we're just going to fade this down towards the teeth and the tongue. And now we're going to switch to the side edge of our pencil and add some shading. So we're going to darken up the bottom of the ears and then fade that up about halfway in towards a highlight. Do the same thing on the right. Let's add a shadow line going across the center of the forehead. Darken up the top and then fade that down. I'm going to add a glare across each of these spikes. Start with a straight line and then fade that down. Then on the inside, we're just going to angle this down and then fade this towards the inside. And we're just going to add a glare going across the mask. So we're going to darken up the center and then bend that out towards the sides. Adding a little bit of reflection along the side. Now this mask is going to cast a shadow across the top of the head, just above the mouth. Just going to darken that up and fade that down. Now the head's going to cast a shadow across the neck. I'm just going to shift this over towards the right side. Also darkening up the top. That's the shadow inside the collar. Let's go back and just add a little bit more contrast to our reflections. as we get closer to the end, we're just going to tighten up our shadows and add a little bit more detail, and always be sure to sign our artwork. And that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of the Batman who laughs. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single week. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.